Hello and welcome to the Newbie Rumble 3 Tournament Craft Review video. I'm your host Zekin. In this video I plan to go through all 11 entries that have been made for the tournament and just give a very brief general overview, have a quick look at their weapons and systems, maybe have a quick poke around at their internals and give you a general overview of, I guess, my opinions on it, and maybe it'll give you some ideas on how it might do in the tournament. So, in no particular order, starting from the right, going to the left. On the very rightmost hand side, we have the Mosquito by Satire. So, it looks like it uses some jets on the side to power it. I'm not sure, maybe that'll somehow play into dodging projectiles or who knows what. Some propellers on the bottom, it looks like. And as far as armaments go, it's got this great big APS on the top, which I believe has some kind of frag or HE component to it. And sitting quite in the front, quite inconspicuously, it has this pure kinetic gun, which is really long. So yeah, we'll see how that goes. And apart from that, it looks very nice. I really like the lines and the shape of it. Colors are quite subtle, but also quite nice. In the interest of keeping this not too long, I'm going to move on. So the second entry is the Jormungandr. I'm not sure how to say that. But it's by Null. Quite a boxy entry. I believe it only has 3 slope blocks on it, so it's a bit of a brick, but it's a pretty brick. Taking advantage of the new camo paints makes it look quite nice. Not much on it, quite a bit of detection you can see spread over the place. Some more, bunch of detection on the bottom, and nestled away in the middle here is a pack. So I believe this is the only weapon that it has, and from the short amount of testing that I did, it is incredibly devastating, but short-lived. So I won't say any more. I don't want to spoil it. And the third we have an entry is the Splegguin by Ironlad. So it looks very much like I guess a puffin or a penguin, which I guess is what it was going for by the name. Interestingly enough, I've seen this in a few Ironlad designs. He's got this big chunk of iron, which is on a spin block, which spins around continuously and acts as a gyroscope, which actually keeps the vehicle stable, which is very interesting. It's got 3 huge APS that fire some combination of HE and frag, I believe. I haven't looked into it 100% closely. Very much a kind of a glass cannon, I believe, since it's almost just like a floating turret. I believe the majority of the body space is taken up by turret, so it'll be interesting to see how it goes. And on the back here, it's got a little missile jetpack. I really love the way this one looks. It's very pretty. It's done some excellent work with mimics here, and just in general, it looks really cool. Whether it's practical remains to be seen, but it looks awesome. Moving on, we have the LCH1 Princess 2 by Sunny Lemonade, another very pretty entry. I like the little fins it's got on the side. I believe these, I could be wrong, but I thought they had hydrofoils in them, but maybe they do, maybe they don't. It's hard to get a grasp on it. Yeah, looks like they do. Yeah, so I think that helps keeps it balanced. A number of APS sitting on the top. Really nice work with the mimics here. I really love I don't know what you call these, power lines, or I'm not really up on battleship terminology. Just looks like a bunch of APS. A little dude here manning the guns. A bit of a cockpit. Very nice, very nice. Some AA guns, just simple weapons. just a really nice looking battleship. It looks like it's spawned with fleet colors, so I guess you'll just have to enjoy the fleet colors that I currently have set. Possibly might change whenever we go into the custom battle mode, but I guess we'll wait and see. Overall, very pretty ship, I think. Moving along, we've got the Rainbow Ride, by Johno. His ship appears to be entirely cram based. As you can see, it's got the rainbow colors, and I believe each of the crams, the colors of the cram shells correspond to the colors, so when it fires you see a beautiful rainbow through the sky. Looks like it's got some interceptor missiles sitting in the middle here in this sort of fairly exposed compartment. Got some hydrofoils to keep it going, keep it out of the sea, and a bunch of propulsion on the back, which is attached to a spin block, and which sort of spins the whole thing around to turn it, which is quite ingenious and quite cool. Got a little dude here on the top, he's hanging out, and looks like some sort of APS. I'm not sure what the armament is there, but it looks like it's quite small. It sort of looks like it's been plonked on top. Some warners there, some detection. So yeah, I look forward to seeing how it fares against the rest. Moving along, we've got Dark Raven by Spyro, so it's black like a raven. And you can see it's got the name on the back printed, some nice pirate flags, a bunch of propulsion, and it's a fairly basic shape, but it's an effective shape, I think. I believe the torpedoes, which are ridiculously huge, are the main armament here. So these are quite slow moving, but nonetheless incredibly deadly if they hit. If your ship has any kind of speed, I think you could just about outrun these because they're so slow, but you know, once they catch you, kaboom. Got some interceptors on the front there. Your basic propulsion stuff. Got a little bit of a cockpit here. The red glass makes it a bit tough to look out though, but nonetheless it's always nice to see a little cockpit. There's a pirate captain sitting there doing his duty. Bunch of detections on the top. Simple casemates sitting on the back and front, I think probably for looks more than anything else, and it looks quite nice. A fairly basic ship, but should be effective nonetheless. I look forward to seeing how this one does. Moving along, we've got the Legionare NRF by Somabody. Fairly utilitarian looking ship, fairly plain, similar to the Raven in its shape, quite a basic shape, but I think it's an effective shape. Got some turning propulsions on the side. It looks like what do we got here? Ooh, some big torpedoes in the front. Some more props on the back and sides, and a bunch of APSs on the top, and a bunch of detection, and it looks like possibly some decoys there. And yeah, I'd say this is much more function over form, so could be a top contender. I guess we'll wait and see, but yeah, we'll see how it goes. And then moving on, we have the HMS Ragtag by Mystic. So I think Mystic is quite new, so I wish him all the luck I can. He's done some. It's a very interesting looking ship. Not the typical sort of ship. It's almost like two ships that have been glued together by chains and metal. So on the top looks like we've got some typical sort of cram cannons, and on the sides we've got a very large number of huge missiles, or large missiles, sorry. Or these torpedoes, I suppose you'd call them, not missiles, but you know what I mean. So yeah, I imagine this was going to chew through the ammo, so I'd say while it has ammo, it's going to be deadly, but how long that lasts, well, I guess we'll wait and see. It's also probably one of the smaller entries, I think, in terms of size, so it's very material expense dense, but there's not a lot of material on it, so yeah. I guess in the positives, it's almost like two ships in one, so if one side gets disabled, perhaps the other side will be able to continue fighting. And yeah, we'll see how that goes. That should be interesting. So good luck. Mystic. Third to last, we have A-Class Destroyer by Edelweiss. Edelweiss told me that he deliberately restricted himself on materials as he felt like he wasn't a noob. So his ship only costs about 91,000 materials in total, so quite a bit under. I think it's by far the cheapest entry in the tournament. And on top of, we have some APS, some basic missile systems, about 2 missile turrets there on like spin blocks, it appears. Overall, it's quite a nice looking ship. Again, done some excellent work with mimics. I love the rigging look, and looks like it's got some simple weapons, probably mainly for looks. It doesn't seem to have a little cockpit anywhere, but it's got some portholes on there, which is, I guess, for the detection. Nothing too much going on at the bottom. Probably one of the more realistic ships. Nice wooden deck. And yeah, not too much more to say. It looks like it's going to be relying largely on its APS for its damage and possibly the missiles. A few casemates in the side, some detection. So yeah, not much more to say. Simple colors, but I think effective. Although I believe they are fleet colors, so we'll see how that looks when the actual tournament runs. Second to last, we have Klinken by Jeoshy. So this is an interesting looking entry. It's almost like a, if I didn't know that it was a ship that went in the water, I would think it was some kind of hover tank. It looks like it's got a very large hull-mounted APS on the front, which I believe most of its damage probably would come from that, I would imagine, but we will see. Little tiny cockpit there, which is very cool, and there's me hanging out in the cockpit. On the top here, got this big smokestack with mimics, which is pretty cool, and 2 which looks like quite large missiles hidden away in there. Some interceptors there, some propulsions, some rolling propulsions and stuff, a bit of detection. Overall, a very nice look. I really love the sort of jagged aesthetic with a bit of mix of the wood and the metal. And on the front here, what looks like a missile turret, which I think is, yep, some interceptors. I think it's turned around because I might have accidentally be standing next to the weapons controller and I might have moved it by mistake. Whoops. Some detection on the top, which again, I think is flipped around. And if I unpause it, there we go. Now it's pointing the right way. And some fairly exposed interceptors here. I guess perhaps they're backup. And last but not least, we have the FSV-6 Marshal by Eternaldoom. So this looks like a very similar, if not the same, entry as Eternaldoom's last ship. Obviously we've gone from stable branch to beta branch, so I believe he's done probably more than a few changes here and there. Superficially it looks very, very similar to the previous entry. I've got some fairly deadly looking packs on the top. I really love the shape and design of the ship. It looks really awesome. Got some simple weapons mounted on the sides. I believe these were used as anti-munition guns, so they would shoot at missiles and torpedoes. Got some detection on the top. Got a little cockpit it's got a bunch of detection in there. Very cool. and it's pretty standard sort of propulsions, some more detection, and what looks like some big fat decoys. So hopefully that'll keep them safe from any potential torpedo hits. Very, very nice looking entry. Looking forward to seeing how it goes. And I think that just about concludes the review portion of this video. So good luck to everyone entering the tournament. I will be putting out round 1 video within the next day or so. All things go well. So yeah, I've been your host Zekin, and good luck everyone.